I am Brent of Clockwork Highlander, and I am burdened with glorious purpose. Similar to our boy Loki, who, hey, look, Loki just aired. Now, unlike some people who got early screenings and got to see it early, I did not, so I watched it with my girlfriend this morning, the first episode, and we really enjoyed the first episode. Like, they set up so much, like, ideology and lore and, like, mythos to the MCU while still being able to tell the story of Loki himself. I mean, so it picks up immediately after an Endgame where he escaped and he ended up in Mongolia. Well, the Time Variant Authority, or TVA, comes in and collects him. And he's obviously an anomaly. He's a variant. And Owen Wilson's character, Agent Mobius, is trying to solve this case, why someone is going around killing Time Variant Authority figures and is stealing their reset time things. And he wants Loki's help. That's the general gist of the episode. Obviously, this is a spoiler, so I'll go into more of it. But it's very interesting how they're able to, at least in the first episode, they're able to balance so many new concepts while still making it relatively easy to follow. It's not that hard to follow. So we learn a lot more. They reference the fact that right as it stands right now, there actually, by all accounts, there is not a multiverse. There is, well, excuse me one second, I'm just getting my socks off. I'm not going anywhere else today. There's the sacred timeline. And then there's these branching timelines that are basically handled by TVA, Time Variant Authority, who then correct it, and the new timeline goes away to keep the sacred timeline in order. Well, this little Miss Minutes clock, voiced by Tara Strong, explains that basically their job is to avoid a multiversal war and like cataclysm. Something that might happen in something like Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. So yeah, there's this one time. So as it stands right now, I get the impression there is only one universe. But the TVA exist outside the known universe and time. So they have like this outside view of things, and their job is to keep a multiverse from forming again. The way they explained it, there was plenty of multiverses, plenty of timelines, and they were in havoc. They were threatening to destroy each other. One timeline came out of that, and that's the timeline we have. So that actually leads the possibility away to a lot of possibilities coming in the future. Like, Loki is already setting up so much. And we have these, I can't remember what they're called exactly, these three figures that, keep the sacred timeline going. And they're represented by these three giant figures. But the thing about it is, I know they give them a name. I'm wondering, because we only see these things in cartoon style. We don't actually meet them at all. But they're clearly, their influence is felt. You see these three faces, and I want to just be clear about something. I'm looking something up right now to be sure that my theory could be true. Not that it is true, but it could be. So even in Loki, it seems that the Living Tribunal, if by a lot of fans at least, it seems to be what they're seems to be what these individuals are seen to be representing, just the Marvel MCU's version of Living Tribunal. Now, Living Tribunal is this multiversal, judger of keeping the balance and peace. He's only superseded by the one above all. It takes multiple Beyonders to take this guy down. One Beyonder isn't enough to bring down the Living Tribunal. Multiple, yes. But he has three faces. But unlike in what we're seeing in Loki, where it's actually three individuals that represent one being, I'm guessing, Living Tribunal has one body with a head that has three faces. So it's interesting to see if that might be the route they're going with that. We learn a lot. I mean, they also I was wondering what was going to become of the Tesseract, because it's like, it's an Infinity Stone. Are they just going to do nothing with it? As a matter of fact, that's exactly what they did. And it's something that is pulled straight out of the comics, where when Loki goes to get the Tesseract back from this little guy who confiscated it, he looks in the guy's drawer and he sees dozens of Infinity Stones. And it's basically like, what? Oh, yeah, guys use them as paperweights around here. Like, oh, and sure enough, the Infinity Stones don't work here. Just like in the Marvel Comics, the Infinity Stones only work within their set universe. They do not work in any other place except the universe they're created in. So if you pull them out of there, they're useless. And that, I'm like, I love that little nod. Oh my God, that is so good. The acting too, like, there are scenes with Tom Hiddleston in this series, just in episode 1, that are beautifully acted. Particularly the whole scenes with him and Owen Wilson. I'm loving Owen Wilson's character, by the way. Not Doctor. Agent Mobius. Owen Wilson's character, I'm loving his character so far. But he shows Loki, you see it in the trailer too, where he's showing Loki what happened to him. It's like, I've already seen this. And he ends up showing Loki a little bit of what happens to him later. And Loki doesn't believe it at first, but then he's just he goes through the entirety of his existence in the MCU, and Loki's smiling about kind of how him and Thor make up, and the fact that his father loved him, and you see him both at the death of Frida and Odin tearing up, like actually crying, and then you see his death, and he just kind of breaks down like glorious purpose, like it's like it was all a lie. But it's more than that. It's like these scenes, because Mobius is just trying to understand why Loki does what he does. And he just asks a simple question, why do you like hurting people? You clearly are enjoying that. Do you like hurting people? And Loki's just not being cooperative, obviously, until he realizes that, A, he's not going to be able to get out of this place on his own, and B, like the realization of so much things. Eventually Loki finally, comes to, admits to both Mobius and so that Loki doesn't like to hurt people. He doesn't enjoy it. But it's part of the ruse. Part of the veil of what the villain that he has made himself out to be in others' eyes. And like that scene, like it's, and I mean, I don't know how many episodes in this series we have. That is actually a really good question. Do we know how many episodes? How many episodes of Loki are there going to be? I know there's at least 2, obviously, but how many episodes of Loki will Loki have? So let's see here. So Marvel Studios series, it's a 6-episode series. Okay. While 6 meager episodes might seem like a lot, to be fair, the episode was 52 minutes long. It was basically Falcon and Winter Soldier runtime. So only 6 episodes, not going to last long. But hey, look, if we're getting quality like this every episode, we may now have a new contender for the best of the Marvel Disney Plus series. As it stands, that's actually a good question. As it stands, which one do I think is better, Falcon or Winter Soldier or WandaVision? I probably answered this when I did Falcon Winter Soldier review. But, thoughts change. The problem is there's aspects of both series that are better than the other, but they're so tonally different that it's very difficult to grade them. I will say I like the fact we had more with WandaVision stretched out, but they were shorter episodes, which more or less equaled the same runtime. I will probably say I did enjoy WandaVision a bit better. But I'll say this. I enjoyed the second half of... Actually, you know what? I enjoyed the first... it's weird for me to say. I want to say I enjoyed the second half of Falcon and Winter Soldier more than I did WandaVision. The second half of WandaVision. And you know what? Now I say that out loud and thinking on it, but WandaVision is great and had some great moments. I liked all episodes, and it still has the best line of the 3 so far. What is grief if not love persevering? Beautiful line. I do think Falcon had the stronger half than WandaVision, now that I say it. Now that I really think on it, I do think I overall maybe liked Black black. Well, you black kid? The Falcon and Winter Soldier, more than WandaVision. As it stands, though, this is probably the best first episode of any of the 3 series. But I think that goes a long way because we like Loki so much. And again, Owen Wilson's great in this. But we also learn what the threat is. And it is, I think, what a lot of people had heard the theory about. It's an alternate Loki. Now, there's been a lot of speculation we might be getting a female Loki in this series. I'm down for that. As long as no one... people are going to ship that immediately. I'm sure people have already shipped that. But people are going to ship that immediately. Grody. Well, no. Isn't masturbation if it's you if it's still you but a different body? Like if you had sex with your clone, is that gay? What? And I also love the gags. There were some moments that made me and my girlfriend laugh straight out and really hard. Like when they get the collar on him and he gets the collar off and he basically just starts torturing that one agent who's you can tell she's kind of the strictly by the book, not willing to see the bigger picture kind of person, just wants to do her job. And seems very gung-ho about erasing people. But he just starts torturing. I would love having that little device. That'd be fun. But yeah, it's very interesting where they're possibly at. And I have a feeling, because this alternate version of Loki is stealing the reset devices for timelines, which means they can't reset the timelines, which means the multiverse branches is starting to, the other alternate timelines are starting to branch off and hit the main timeline. I'm thinking, whereas WandaVision, No Way Home, and Doctor Strange are connected, I think Loki is probably very connected to Doctor Strange more than we've been led to believe. They've already been heavily talking about the multiverse just in one episode. This also might be the end of the TVA by the end of this series, assuming Loki doesn't get renewed. That said, if Loki gets renewed and it's just going to be him cruising the timelines and stuff like that, meeting new characters, get a couple seasons of that, I ain't going to complain. But yeah, that's a good question. Do you guys think this is going to be a one-off, like WandaVision is basically going to be, or do you think you're going to get multiple seasons, like we're probably going to get with Falcon and the Winter Soldier? Or Moon Knight, or She-Hulk. Like we're probably not going to get another Hawkeye series. Ms. Marvel, maybe, but I have a feeling once we get Ms. Marvel and then the Marvels, we are going to get a Ms. Marvel movie. So that's my theory on that. And yeah, Hawkeye's already been in the movies. I doubt he's going to get another season. This might be Jeremy Renner's finally like walking away from the MCU kind of thing. Similar to Scarlett Johansson, Black Widow's her swan song, if you will, or Widow song, if you will. So I don't know. We'll see. Personally, I'm okay with this being a one-off. Oh hell, I was okay with Falcon and Winter Soldier being a one-off, but I'm down for more. But until then, that is just my thoughts on Loki. I really liked this first episode. They introduced a lot of fun concepts, a lot of stakes in the MCU. Like they're throwing a lot. They're throwing the multiverse pretty heavily in our faces now. The Eternals is going to be probably dealing with the theorized plot. The theorized antagonist for the Eternals isn't an Eternal. It's theorized that it's a Celestial come to judge Earth. And the Eternals got to stop them. Got Celestials coming then, probably. I mean, you got Fing Fang Foom, or at least he's known as the Guardian, I think. But you got him, the Mandarin, and Shang-Chi. And that's just the upcoming stuff, like very upcoming. We have, at minimum, Electro and Doc Ock coming, and Spider-Man No Way Home. I guarantee you there's probably more villains than them in there. So we have a lot coming with a lot of implications to the MCU. So I am very interested to see where this is going to be going. But until then, that is just my thoughts. What did you guys think of Loki? Put in the comments below and let me know. But thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know the review at some point. Hit that bell if you're not notified. What if up in a little while. So thanks for watching. See you later.